I woke up like I always do, before the sun, before the birds. The floor was cool beneath my feet and the scent of miso drifted in from the kitchen. My wife was already at the stove, humming softly just like she has for over 60 years. But that morning, I paused. Why was I still able to walk out to the porch without help? While my dear friend in California, same age, same spirit, now struggles to lift himself from bed. What happened to his strength? And more importantly, could it have been prevented? They say growing old means growing weak. But what if that wasn't true? What if your body is still listening, even now? Tonight I want to share with you the one small habit that may have kept my legs strong through the decades. It's not a workout, not a supplement, not a secret pill. It's something warm, something simple. And it begins right before sleep. Let me show you what it is. The morning air was crisp, as it often is in the mountains of Nagano. I slid open the wooden door and stepped onto the porch. The sky was still blue-gray, the sun just a whisper behind the hills, and I stood there, barefoot, stretching my arms toward the heavens. At 87, I still do this every day. No cane, no help, just me, my breath, and the slow awakening of the world. But that morning, something felt different. I had just received a letter from my cousin in California. Inside was a photograph of him in a wheelchair. We're the same age. We grew up climbing the same trees, racing the same village paths barefoot. But now, his legs had failed him. I remember sitting down with the letter trembling in my hand. My wife poured me a cup of tea, and I asked her softly, "Why him? And not me?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she looked at the bowl of soup still steaming on the table, the same one she's made for me for decades. And then she said, "Because every night we nourish your legs before they sleep." That morning, I realized something I had never fully understood. My strength was not just luck. It was built, quietly, bowl by bowl, over years, not by chasing youth, but by honoring age. And that realization, that simple but powerful truth, led me to ask a deeper question. Why do so many elders in America lose strength so quickly? While in my village, people in their 90s still walk to the market. Let's take a closer look. In America, people talk about aging like it's a countdown. You'll slow down. You'll lose your strength. It's just part of getting old. But what if I told you that losing muscle isn't a given? That it's not age itself, but something else that quietly steals your strength? There's a name for it: sarcopenia. It sounds like a medical term tucked away in a research journal, and it is. But its impact is real, and it shows up in everyday life. It's when your arms feel weaker than they used to, when stairs feel steeper, when getting up from a chair becomes a struggle, and one day, without realizing it, you stop walking as far. Then not at all. The Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle reports that after age 60, people lose 3 to 8% of their muscle mass every decade, and that's in healthy adults. If you sleep poorly, eat poorly, or spend too many hours sitting still, that number rises even faster. But here's the scary part. Most people don't notice it's happening. It doesn't come with a sharp pain or dramatic fall. It comes silently. A little fatigue here, a little wobble there, until one day you realize your body is no longer yours to command. I've seen it happen to my friends in the U.S., men and women who were once strong and active. They didn't ignore their health. They simply weren't told what was quietly working against them. And more importantly, they weren't told that it could be reversed. Because yes, muscle loss can be slowed, even rebuilt, but only if you know how. And it all starts not in the gym, not in the hospital, but in your own kitchen at the end of the day. Let's go to my village and I'll show you how our elders still walk with strength in their 90s. When I was a boy, the oldest man in our village was Mr. Sakamoto. He was 96, with a spine like a question mark. But every morning he walked to the market with a bamboo cane and a cloth bag full of radishes. He moved slowly but steadily, and he always said, "If you stop walking, you stop living." Today, not much has changed. In our small town, you'll still find elders in their late 80s, even 90s, planting vegetables, sweeping porches, or doing light morning stretches in the park. They bow to each other, they chat softly over tea, and most importantly, they move. Compare that to what I saw during a visit to a retirement community in California. Men my age sat in wheelchairs, waiting for assistance. Some stared at the television, some dozed off mid-conversation. Sharp minds, kind hearts, but frail bodies that could no longer rise without help. It broke my heart, not because they were weak, but because no one had shown them another way. You see, our strength in Japan doesn't come from special genes or some magic mountain air. It comes from how we live, especially in the hours before we sleep. In America, I notice that dinner often means heavy meats, creamy sauces, large portions. And then dessert. It's a celebration, a reward after a long day. But in Japan, dinner is a ritual, a time to prepare the body for rest, not overload it. We eat early. We eat light. And most nights, we eat food that helps the body heal, not just fill the belly. It's not just about what's on the plate. It's about the message we send to our muscles. And every night, we send this message, you are still needed. Stay strong. The difference is subtle. But over 30 years, that difference becomes everything. Now you may wonder, what exactly do we eat that helps us keep walking while others slow down? Let me show you the dish that brought my legs back after I lost them. It was winter when I slipped. Just a thin sheet of ice on the back steps, invisible to the eye but unforgiving to the bones. I landed hard on my hip, and for the first time in my life, I couldn't get up on my own. The doctor told me I'd be fine, but I would need to stay in bed for weeks. At first, I didn't mind. A little rest, I thought. A good excuse to nap, to read. But after 10 days, I looked down at my legs and barely recognized them. They were smaller, softer, weaker. The muscles that had carried me through mountains, through youth, through fatherhood, had faded. It was a quiet kind of fear, not loud, not dramatic, but it sat deep in my chest. I didn't want to become one of those men who used to walk, and my wife, bless her gentle heart, she knew. She didn't say much. She just brought me the same bowl each night. Warm, simple, fragrant with miso, soft with tofu, speckled with seaweed, sometimes a spoonful of sticky natto on the side. She would set it in my lap, brush my hair back, and say, "Eat this. Your legs will walk again." I smiled, but inside, I didn't believe her. Still, I ate, night after night. And then something happened. I began to sleep more deeply. I stopped waking with cramps, and one morning I swung my legs over the side of the bed and stood. Not long, not far, but I stood. And in that quiet moment, I knew something inside me was rebuilding. Years later, I learned the science behind what she had known all along, that fermented soy, like miso, tofu, and natto, contains amino acids, probiotics, and compounds that help repair muscle while you sleep. No supplements, no expensive pills, just food, just love, just tradition. That bowl was more than soup. It was my return to life. And tonight, I want to show you why. Let's look inside this simple dish and see the powerful secrets it holds. Most people think of soup as comfort food, something warm on a cold day, something soft for a tired stomach. But this bowl, this simple Japanese miso soup, is more than that. It's medicine in disguise. You see, when you're young, your body can get away with bad habits. Skip a meal, stay up late, eat fast food. Your muscles still bounce back. But after 60, the rules change. Your body becomes slower to heal, slower to rebuild. And that's when every bite begins to matter. Inside this humble bowl are 3 powerful nutrients, the kind your muscles crave while you sleep. 1. Leucine, the muscle activator. Leucine is a special amino acid. It's not just a building block, it's the on switch for muscle repair. Your body can't start rebuilding muscle unless leucine gives the signal. And here's the truth. Older adults need more leucine than younger people just to get the same effect. Tofu, miso, and especially natto are rich in leucine. And unlike heavy meats, soy is gentle on aging stomachs, easy to digest, and kinder to the kidneys. It's strength, without the strain. 2. Tryptophan, the sleep supporter. Tryptophan is often called the Thanksgiving amino acid, found in turkey, known for making people sleepy. But its real power lies deeper. It helps your body create serotonin and melatonin, 2 hormones that calm the mind and lead to deep, healing sleep. And sleep, dear friend, is when your muscles rebuild. No deep sleep, no repair. That's why this soup, served warm, right before bed, works like a lullaby for the body. It says, "You've done enough today. Now it's time to heal." 3. Isoflavones, the gentle protectors. Found in fermented soy, isoflavones help reduce inflammation, support bone density, and balance hormones, especially important for older adults. They're like quiet guardians standing watch as your muscles mend through the night. And natto, yes, that sticky, strange-tasting food, may be one of the richest sources in the world. My friend Mr. Tanaka used to suffer from restless legs and joint pain. His daughter, a nurse, started making him a small miso bowl with natto every night. Within weeks, his sleep improved. His steps felt steadier. Not a miracle. Just food, given with care. So the next time you look at a bowl of miso soup, don't see just broth and tofu. See leucine, tryptophan, isoflavones. See muscle support, deeper sleep, gentle healing, all while you rest. And now that you know what's inside, let me show you the lifestyle around it, the evening rituals that make this healing complete. In my home, evenings are quiet, not silent like loneliness, but quiet like peace. After dinner, my wife and I wash the dishes slowly. She folds the laundry by the heater. I water the plants on the porch, one by one. No television shouting in the background, no phones glowing at the table, just the hum of the kettle, the creak of old wood, and the soft rhythm of 2 people winding down a long day. This may sound simple, but over a lifetime it has shaped our health, not just our bodies, but our hearts. Because when the sun sets in Japan, we don't just prepare for sleep, we prepare for recovery. Let me show you a few of the quiet customs we follow every evening, and how they've helped keep us strong, even as our hair turned white. We eat early, not late. Dinner is often served before 7 p.m. Why? Because digestion takes time, and sleep is not the time for digestion. Eating early allows the body to absorb nutrients gently, to settle, to rest. When we eat too late, we sleep poorly, we wake heavy, we recover slowly. It's a simple change, but a powerful one. We eat in silence, or with soft conversation. A Japanese dinner is filled with sounds, but not loud ones. The clinking of chopsticks, the steam rising from a bowl, a quiet laugh, a thoughtful pause. This calm atmosphere activates what doctors call the rest and digest state, the parasympathetic nervous system. When you're calm, your digestion improves, your sleep deepens, your muscles receive the fuel they need to repair. Stress blocks healing. Silence opens the door. We chew slowly with gratitude. I was taught to chew each bite at least 30 times, not as a rule, but as a ritual of respect. Respect for the food, for the farmer who grew it, for the body that needs it. Chewing slowly helps digestion begin in the mouth. It also tells the brain, you've had enough, reducing the chance of overeating. For elders, this matters even more. It prevents bloating, reduces choking risk, improves nutrient absorption. But most of all, it turns dinner into a moment of thankfulness. We let go of the day before sleep. After dishes and tea, we don't scroll through headlines. We don't rush into bed. We stretch. We breathe. Sometimes we sit in silence with our hands in our laps, listening to nothing but the wind outside. This lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. It signals the body, you are safe now, and only in safety can the deepest healing begin. These rituals are not prescriptions. They are invitations to slow down, to listen inward, to make room for the body to do what it knows how to do. You don't need to live in Japan to follow them. You just need to honor your evenings as the beginning of your recovery, not the end of your day. Now that you've seen how we prepare our bodies for rest, let me show you what not to do, because too often, small mistakes steal our strength without us noticing. When I visited my daughter in Seattle, I felt happy and quietly heartbroken. Her home was warm, her hugs were strong, but when I opened her fridge, I saw a very different kind of nourishment. Sugary yogurts, microwave dinners, late-night snacks stacked beside the couch. I didn't judge. I simply asked, "Do you feel rested when you wake up?" She smiled and said, "Not really, I feel heavy, and my arms have been getting weaker." She's only in her 50s. It reminded me how easy it is in a busy world to slip into habits that slowly drain the body. So allow me, an old man from the mountains of Japan, to share what I've seen, not with blame, but with care. Here are 5 common habits I've noticed in America that quietly weaken the body, especially after 60. 1. Skipping protein at dinner. A salad, a piece of toast, a bowl of cereal. Light dinners may feel easy on the stomach, but they often lack protein, the single most important nutrient your muscles need at night. As we age, our ability to absorb protein declines. That means we don't just need some protein, we need the right kind at the right time. Even a small piece of soft fish, tofu, or an egg can make a difference. Without it, your muscles shrink quietly each night, no matter how active your day was. 2. Drinking sugary milk before bed. In many homes, milk is the go-to bedtime drink. But modern milk, especially flavored or low-fat versions, is often full of added sugar. For older adults, these sugars can spike insulin, interrupt sleep, and cause overnight inflammation. Instead, try a warm miso broth, or even a simple cup of ginger tea. Let your body rest, not react. 3. Eating dessert after dinner. Ice cream, cookies, pie. Sweetness brings comfort, yes. But when eaten at night, it confuses the body. Your muscles are trying to repair. Your brain is trying to clear toxins. Your heart is trying to slow down. But sugar says, "Let's party." This leads to poor sleep, restless legs, even overnight muscle breakdown. In Japan, we end dinner with something gentle, a steamed apple, a warm banana, sweet enough to satisfy, soft enough to heal. 4. Eating too late. Many American families eat at 8 or 9 p.m., after errands, TV shows, and long commutes. But by then, the body is already winding down. Eating late forces digestion to keep working through the night when it should be resting. This leads to bloating, poor sleep, and reduced muscle repair. In contrast, Japanese elders finish dinner early while the sun is still setting. This gives the body time to absorb nutrients, relax, and truly recover by morning. 5. Going to bed dehydrated. Many elders avoid drinking water in the evening, fearing late-night trips to the bathroom. But mild dehydration can quietly cause muscle cramps, poor circulation, and shallow sleep. The key is not to drink more, just smarter. Sip warm barley tea during dinner, or a little cucumber water before bed. Hydration doesn't have to flood you, it only needs to reach you. None of these habits are made from malice. They come from love, from comfort, from convenience. But sometimes, even good intentions need gentle correction. And now that we've uncovered what not to do, let me show you what a healing dinner really looks like. One that rebuilds strength, night after night, with simple, loving care. When I was a boy, my grandmother used to say, "Tonight's food is tomorrow's strength." At the time, I thought she meant it as a proverb. Now, in my late 80s, I know it was a promise. If you've been feeling weaker, if your balance feels off, if your arms tire too quickly or your legs ache just walking to the mailbox, that is not just aging. That is your body asking for help. And the answer might not be a gym, not a pill, not a program. It might be a bowl, a quiet moment, a shift in how you end your day. Let me show you what our dinner looks like here in the hills of Japan. A small bowl of warm white rice, just a few bites, to help tryptophan ease you into sleep. A bowl of miso soup with tofu, rich in leucine, tryptophan, and natural probiotics. A handful of steamed greens, bok choy, cabbage, or spinach, with a drop of sesame oil. A small piece of grilled fish or steamed egg custard, easy to chew, full of gentle protein. If you're brave, a spoonful of natto, sticky but strong, a powerhouse of healing. And for dessert, a slice of steamed apple or a warm banana with cinnamon. Nothing heavy, nothing fancy, but everything your body needs to rebuild. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You don't have to change everything overnight. But if you start with just one bowl, one habit, you may wake up one morning and feel something you haven't felt in years. Strength. Not the strength to lift weights or run miles, but the strength to rise, to carry, to stretch your arms to the sky again. Your body is still listening. Tonight, speak to it with care. And if this story gave you a little hope, leave a comment. I truly read everyone. And don't forget to subscribe, because this is only the beginning. Your new strength starts now, just one bowl away. If you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you for spending these precious minutes with me, for listening, for reflecting, and for remembering that your strength still matters. I don't take your time for granted. In fact, I cherish it. Just like I cherish the quiet evenings in my little kitchen and the stories that continue to unfold, one bowl at a time. If something in this video touched you, if it reminded you of someone you love, or if it simply gave you a little hope, please leave a comment below. I read them every morning before breakfast, and they give me the courage to keep sharing. And if you'd like to join me on this journey of quiet strength, simple living, and the timeless wisdom of Japan, hit the subscribe button. It may seem small, but to me it means everything. Because every like, every comment, every new friend is one more reason to keep writing. One more reason to believe that even across oceans and generations, we can still grow stronger together. Until next time, sleep well, eat gently, and never stop listening to your body.